Cohen needs the approval of 23 or more of the owners around Major League Baseball in order to get this gig. What needs to happen for that to happen? Is that a foregone conclusion?
Well, now it becomes getting the votes. It becomes a political issue. And Rob Manfred, like Bud Selig before him, his job is almost like a Senate majority leader, a minority leader at that point, to whip up the votes and get them together. So my information on where this process is at, Doug, is that there is an expectation in the industry that Cohen will ultimately be approved. But it's not a slam dunk. It's not 100% a certainty here. There are some owners with a variety of concerns, and I'm sure they're working through. I'm also sure that Rob Manfred has a fairly good sense of where his group is at and how they may vote. But it's not a done deal yet. There has been an owner who is a prospective owner who was not approved in the past decade. That was Jeff Morad with the San Diego Padres, did not get the votes. Again, the expectation of the industry is this will ultimately go in Cohen's favor because, frankly, he's really going to be somebody who helps out the median franchise value in purchasing the Mets and the resources he's going to put into that. But it's not a done deal at this point. That's something to watch over the next few months.
Assuming he gets the votes, Jim, and Steve Cohen becomes the next owner of the New York Mets, what's the process like for a new owner and the people around him when a new owner takes over?
So I went through that ownership change. Now, it was a little different because it was a transfer within current ownership. So the Wilpons and Doubledays, they split the team. That was back in 2002, and so there was a full transfer to the Wilpons. But really what ends up happening, and we've seen this even with the Dodgers when they were sold in 2012, the Marlins most recently, the Royals last year in 2019, they go through an initial evaluation phase most of the time, evaluating all aspects of it, not just the business side, but the baseball operations side, looking at the assets, looking at the team, looking at the success or failures over the last couple. And there's a deeper dive into the organization than what you're able to do when you're going through this as a prospective owner, trying to understand, how the baseball operations side works. And then from there, usually there's a period of time, a year or so that they, let the office kind of run itself. And they evaluate them from there and then decide if they want to make changes. That's normally what we've seen around the league when there's been ownership changes. I would expect something similar to that with the Mets. They might add some people, but not likely that they would subtract a lot of people.